Hello everyone, this is Wrestling Fan Talk here. So in this video, I wanted to talk about Hulk Hogan a little bit. But more specifically, I wanted to talk about the leg drop. It's one of the most iconic finishers in all of professional wrestling. I think if we're honest and we make those top finisher list, which is the most iconic, the Hulk Hogan leg drop has to be in that top 4 or 5. I think it just does. I don't think there's any way around that. Now, we all know that Hulk Hogan changed the way professional wrestling operated, from the marketing to the merchandising to just overall increasing business. Hulk Hogan was the wrestler that Vince McMahon used in the 80s to take WWF, now WWE, from a local Northeast promotion to a national promotion. Now, when we look at Hulk Hogan, we obviously know that the leg drop, as I said, is one of the most iconic finishers of all time. So I wanted to personally give what I think are the most 4 iconic leg drops of all time, in no particular order. Now, the first one was the leg drop against the Iron Sheik in January of 1984 to win his first WWF World title. At the time, Iron Sheik was the foreign menace, the Iranian foreign power. Now, the previous month, Iron Sheik had defeated Bob Backlund to win the WWF title. Hulk Hogan had just came back into the company after being in AWA for a little while, and obviously in the Rocky III movie. Hulk Hogan came back in Madison Square Garden and defeated the Iron Sheik to win the WWF title. It's one of the more iconic leg drops of all time. Now, the next leg drop I feel is iconic is the main event of WrestleMania 5 against the Macho Man Randy Savage. This was the final conclusion of the Mega Power storyline between him and Randy Savage that really began the year before at WrestleMania 4. Arguably before that on a Saturday night's main event when the two of them shook hands after Hulk Hogan saved Randy Savage from a Hart Foundation and Honky Tonk Man beatdown. Now, this was one of the greatest storylines of all time that took over a year to tell. A lot of great promos leading into WrestleMania 5. Randy Savage was at his absolute best here. He was insane, and if you go back at YouTube, Randy Savage WrestleMania 5 promos, you could see that he was intense, and he had a point. A lot of people still consider Hulk Hogan to be sort of the pseudo-villain of this story. But if we look at iconic leg drops, the leg drop that ended the Mega Power storyline has to be on there. Now, the next leg drop I feel is the most iconic would be Bash at the Beach 1996. Well over a decade of being the biggest babyface in all of professional wrestling, Hulk Hogan in the red and yellow was iconic at the time. And it seemed unfathomable that Hulk Hogan would ever change, that he would ever become bad. Now, going into Bash at the Beach 1996, the Outsiders had invaded WCW. And it was Kevin Nash and Scott Hall against Randy Savage, Lex Luger, and Sting. Now, the build-up for this match and the heat for it was palpable. If you ever go back and watch this event, the way the announcers sell it, who's the third man, who's the third man, the way they tell this story, the tension in the air was thick and it was real. And when Hulk Hogan came down that rampway, there's no way any of us really ever thought that he'd be the third man. We just couldn't see it. But when he hit that leg drop on Randy Savage, revealing himself as the third man and turning heel and betraying every value that he once held dear, we were all proven wrong. And quite frankly, it launched another major successful era of professional wrestling. That leg drop at Bash at the Beach 96 changed everything moving forward. From the booking to the way we looked at wrestling, from the way stories were told, to merchandising, to all of it. No longer was the world of professional wrestling necessarily black and white, good guys, bad guys. The NWO created many shades of gray. Now, the final leg drop I want to talk about, WrestleMania 3 against Andre the Giant. This match changed professional wrestling forever. When Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant, and you see the flashbulbs going off, it was in that exact moment that professional wrestling went from being a territorial business to a national, soon-to-be global phenomenon. Which, quite frankly, even at that time, there were wrestling territories globally. It was already globally a phenomenon, professional wrestling was. But we're talking more specifically about the WWF. It went from territorial to national in that moment. The territory system died when those flashbulbs happened. And then, when he hit the leg drop, a swift leg drop, but he hits it, the ref counts to 3, and Andre turns to his side looking confused and bewildered, and it's an iconic moment in the annals of professional wrestling. It's forever going to be on that Mount Rushmore of moments. The slam and the leg drop that followed. But that's my top 4 list of Hulk Hogan leg drops of all time. This is all for this one. Wrestling Fan Talk out.